Welcome to Wisdom from African Proverb. Now, this is a series where we'll be deriving uncommon life lessons from African Proverb. We're going to show the love for our continent, Africa. And straight away, we are going to begin with the first proverb. Now, the first proverb says that if you hang around a beautiful girl without saying a word, one day you will fetch water for visitors in her wedding. This could teach on taking advantage of opportunities. Many times you know that this is an opportunity that I need to take advantage of. But something tells you still have time. Something tells you I need enough time, I need enough this and that to execute it or to take advantage of it. Only to see someone taking it and implementing it, and sometimes even employing you to work on the same opportunity, the same idea that came to your mind but did not act at the right time. If you take the same proverb literally, there are people who date in the mind. Because they are fond of someone, they can meet regularly, talk here and there. In their mind, they think the person has already accepted. And so they don't go ahead and speak at the right time, and someone else comes and speaks and takes the lady, only to see the lady posting her wedding photos or her wedding invitation on social media. And many men have seen people who are meant to be their wives married by someone else because they didn't speak at the right time. In this year 2023, if there is an idea that has come to your mind, you better execute it with the little that you have. If you check very well, around that idea there are things that do not even need money, but many times people heap excuse on money. Now, if I may ask you, what have you done on the things that don't need money, that only need your presence and your effort? If you don't execute that idea, someone else will execute it and will go looking for a job in that person. If you hang around a beautiful lady and you don't speak a word, one day you may fetch water for visitors at her wedding. Thank you. Stay tuned for more wisdom from African Proverbs. Sticks in a bundle are unbreakable. Now, it's obvious if you take one stick, you can easily break it. Very simple. However, the same weak stick, when gathered together to form a bundle, you can't break. Everyone has a weakness. If you take, for example, in a family, each and every person has their shortcomings. However, with all their shortcomings, if they accept each other's shortcomings and come together, that bundle is unbreakable. Now, let me take it to the other aspect. If you're the only rich person where you are coming from, and if you're not willing to develop the people that are around you in any way, your wealth is not safe. Let's say you're in the village, you're the only person that has it in the whole extended family. But your brother's children are there. Some of them can't even go to school because of lack of school fee. But you know you have, but because of the family enmity, you can't even pay school for any, thinking that you're safe. My friend, you're not safe. What I would advise you is this. Try your level best to empower those people around you, because when they're empowered, when they're able to fight for themselves, then even yours is safe. But if you're the only person that has it, it's a matter of time. You soon get to their level. Or some of them will even start stealing from you. So if you are the only person that is fine around that place, please, you are not safe. Find a way of empowering the people who are empowerable around that place. You try to play your part. Don't expect to be appreciated. Don't expect any element of gratitude. Do it for your own good. If they don't receive it well, to hell with them. But at least try to empower someone around you. If there are a number of people who can stand on their own, who can be depended on, then you are safe. But I can tell you for sure, if you're the only person who has it among those who don't have it, you're not safe. Why do you think rich people like staying in a specific estate? Why do you think They don't like mixing with other people. Why? Because they know that kind of power of unity. If the only single person that is empowered, you can easily be broken. The power of unity is profound. Even if people in a company are not very qualified, but if these people are united, if these people are working together, if they have the ownership spirit that this is ours, not someone's, then I can tell you they can succeed better than highly qualified people who are not united. If you can preach anything to the people that are working around you, preach the power of unity. Because stick, as weak as they could be, if they're joined in a bundle, they're unbreakable. Thank you so much. One who causes misfortune to others also teaches them wisdom. Now let me tell you a story. A woman added weight, and her weight became a concern to the husband because she became overweight, increased too much that even herself, she was very concerned about it. It became a thorn in her flesh. Instead of the husband to help her out, the husband started mocking her, and her self-esteem came down completely. And the husband decided to drop her for another woman. Because of that, she felt so bad, and she vowed to work on herself whatsoever. So she started working out, and after a while, she went back to her original body and became very slim. While on the other side, the woman that the husband married was slim when she was married, and she later gained weight and almost became like this other one. And the husband started wishing that she had this one back. Now, what am I trying to say? It was because of the heartbreak, it was because of the neglect, the insult, that this woman vowed to work on herself whatsoever. If you check your life, you realize that there are certain things that you did that seriously benefited you after a serious heartbreak or after a serious disappointment. Many times people see calamities as things which have come to break them down. Many times people see problems as things which have come to finish them. But many times people walk out of those problems wiser. If you check very well, you are where you are right now because of the problems that you faced before. If you never faced those problems, if you never experienced those challenges, probably you'd be a different person. But the truth is that someone that is engineering heartbreak for you, someone that is plotting to destroy you in a way, if they don't succeed, which is likely to be, then they will leave you wiser and even better. So if you think that you can bring someone down, what you don't know if you are building that person in disguise. Many orphans who are turned into house helps by the relatives who intended to help them ended up becoming the pillars of their homes. People who took advantage of them to treat them anyhow didn't know that they were instilling uncommon wisdom in them that ended up becoming pillars of their lives. If you intend to do harm to someone, what you don't know, you could be teaching that person a life wisdom in disguise. Thank you so much. Fish and bird can fall in love, but the two cannot build a home together. You know that birds live outside, they live on trees outside, while fish lives in water. Yes, they can be in love, yes, but you realize that when a bird goes to visit fish, or when a bird leaves the tree to go and stay in water, it will suffocate and die. And so also on the other hand, if fish leaves water and goes to live with a bird, it will also suffocate and die. So you realize that their friendship or their love is limited by the environment where they are. Now this proverb explains that number one, love is not a proof that you are meant together. And so you should exploit other things that brings you together, that brings about the compatibility. There are people that you may call your friend and so on and so forth that you only meet outside. There are people that only deserves a meeting in the street and that ends. There are people that you only meet at workplace and it ends there. There are only people who you meet at the places of refreshment, places of entertainment, and it ends there. You don't bring them to your inner circle. Why? Because they don't belong there. When you bring them into your inner circle, they can suffocate. When you bring them to your inner circle, they can complicate your life. Why? Because they don't belong there. So not everyone you meet, you bring close to your inner circle. One day, you may bring a devourer to your inner circle. So be very careful how to categorize people. Make it common to call people, acquaintances. Make it common to call people colleagues. Make it common to call people, buddies. People that you just know, people that you just do a particular thing together. But if you want to bring everyone into your inner circle, one day you'll bring a problem that you may not come out of easily. Many people who have been heartbroken severely in life were heartbroken by a very close person. Many people who are seriously destroyed, were stolen from, all kinds of things happens. It started with someone they met, but they confused an acquaintance for a friend, and that is how they were destroyed. Like I said before, love is not a confirmation of compatibility. Check other things that qualifies that person to get into the inner circle and become a partner. Remember, compatibility also changes. You could be compatible at the beginning, but as things change, people's tastes and preferences keep changing. And the things that are attracted to someone can change in process, and you may find yourself hating the same person that you loved before. So as you change, also change with changes to be able to accommodate the person at every stage and season in life. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more African Proverbs. Thank you. Don't think there is no crocodile just because the water is calm. Now, this one teaches that you should not take advantage of calm-looking people. Now, let me tell you something. People who are very quiet and calm have the advantage of patience. They can tolerate your nonsense for so long, and you may think they are pushovers. But one day, if they make up their mind to deal with you, they don't have a reverse gear, and you may regret it. Now, these people may not be violent and do drama with you and so on and so forth, but their strength is in making a decision and standing with it. You can wrong them for so long, and they can be quiet. You'll apologize, and they'll take your apology. But as you do that, as you keep hurting them, they're learning to do without you. They're learning to stay without you. One day, if they make up their mind, there is no statement you use that will convince them back. If you have an opportunity with someone that is quiet and calm looking, if they trust you, and nothing can change their mind. If they trust you, no one else will speak against you, and that they will trust. But if you break that trust, thinking that they cannot be dangerous, the day they turn against you, you may not like it. On the other hand, some of the people that are very cantankerous have the best hearts so far. Yes, in their mouth, they can cut you with their words and reduce you into pieces. But if you check very well, some of them have the best heart so far. Some of them can help a lot. So it's a matter of learning how to deal with people. But let you not be cheated that a calm person cannot react, that a calm person is a pushover. Treat people with respect. Don't think there is no crocodile just because the water is calm. If you stir that water, the crocodile may come out and you may not survive it. Never take advantage of people simply because of their outward demeanor. Respect everyone. Thank you. You cannot climb to the mountain top without crushing some weed with your feet along the way. Now, this applies to the leaders. As a leader, a time comes when you have to make some unpopular decision that will crush other people. but is good for the vision of whichever organization that you are leading. There are certain things you will do that others may not like, but they have to be done for the betterment of the vision. There are people that you'll have to crush along the way as you are climbing the mountain. Let me tell you something. As you work to achieving your vision in life, no matter how good and nice you are, there are some people that you'll step on along the way. There are some people that just doing good will hurt them, and there is nothing you can do about them. So if you fear stepping on the weed, you'll never get to the mountain. If you fear doing the right things as opposed to good things, you may never get to the top of the mountain. And so before you make a decision with the attempt to please other people, ask yourself, what reward am I getting out of this decision? If it is a decision that is in line with your vision, if it's a decision that is in line with what is expected in that environment, go ahead and make it. Because I can tell you for a fact, you cannot please everyone around and still expect to achieve your vision. It can't happen like that. You must be bold. You must make up your mind to do the right thing and discard the people that will be stumbling blocks along the way. That is the decision of a leader. A leader says no and sticks to the no so long as that no will benefit the organization. You have to say some no to say yes to certain things. If you're the yes person everywhere, you can never make any progress. So you must you must crush some weed along the way to the mountain. I'm not trying to say you must be a wicked person. No, I didn't say that. What I'm trying to say is that if the right decision will hurt others, let it be. Thank you. He who does not clean his mouth before breakfast will always complain that the food is sour. Now, he will think the food is sour because the mouth is sour. So even though the food is sweet, but since the mouth is sour, the food will taste sour. So he'll think the problem is the food, not knowing the problem is with the mouth. It is until he cleans his mouth that we'll begin to feel the taste of food. Now the truth is this: hurting people will hurt you and still blame you for hurting them, not knowing that they are the problem. Many times when you see someone that is having problems with every Tom, Dick and Harry, they always have something negative to say about someone. If you check very well, the problem is with them. There is no way everyone around you will just have a problem. It can't just happen. If you check very well, probably something is wrong with your mouth, and that is why everything is sour for you. Have you ever dealt with someone with low self-esteem? They will always play victim, even if they're not targeted. You always hear things like, are you doing for me this thing because I am this, this, and that? Are you doing this for me because I am this, 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 and that? If you hear someone speaking like that, in most cases, they have a low self-esteem, so they think people are attacking them because of that, even if they're the ones who have caused problems. If you try to confront them, they'll always think you're confronting them because of something that they portray to be wrong with them. So in most cases, when you realize that you always see negative things in people, probably you are looking at them with the wrong lens that is only giving you negative things about them. Probably you may need to check yourself, what could be wrong with me that makes me see bad things about people? Because it is until you clean your mouth that you will taste the food. Otherwise, everyone around you will be sour. Why? Because of the lens through which you are looking at them. It's about attitude. It's about developing your self-esteem. It's about knowing yourself. If you don't know yourself, you'll accept every description that someone gives you. So, before you complain that the food is sour, check if you cleaned your mouth before breakfast. Thank you. He who does not know how to dance will always complain that the drum is bad. Now, this is all about making excuses. Now, making an excuse is very therapeutic, by the way, because it takes away the responsibility from you and heaps it on a circumstance that is beyond your control. So you feel like you are feeling responsible. You feel like you have enough cogent reason to remain who you are at that point. Why could you do this? Oh, because it was this, and that. The truth is that when you find yourself making excuses, your journey is still very far. If you want to do something, look for what will make it work. Ask yourself, what can I do that will make this thing work? Not what can happen that is beyond my control that can stop this thing from working. That is the mindset that will give you creativity. The moment you start looking for how, your mind will open up to start scavenging for ideas left, right, center. But when you say that you can't, it will block your mind, so that even something that you could do, you will not find a way of doing it. Why? Because you block your mind with excuses. Don't be quick at giving an excuse, because it will stop a lot of opportunities from coming to you. Or a lot of opportunities will come, but you'll not be able to unravel them. Why? Because you will stop them at the excuse level. Expand your mind. Don't complain that the drum is bad if you have not tested your dancing skills. Thank you. A single bracelet cannot jingle. Now let me see if I add more. If I add more and I'm walking now, there will be the jingling sound of the bracelets. Now bracelets are meant for beauty. Bracelets are expensive. But as expensive as it is, as beautiful as it is, it will not jingle if it is alone. It will only jingle when it is in the presence of others. Jingling is an interesting sound of entertainment, of joy. So you realize quality, you realize beauty. Without company, no joy. Joy is when there is company. It doesn't matter what you have. If you don't have company, you discover that all you have is in vain. Why? Because you don't have someone to enjoy it with. Now, a friend is a gift you give yourself, but some people give to themselves snakes. Now, if you find a good friend, you find a valuable thing in life. You find someone to jingle with. Endeavor to build good relationship with people, because as you may think you're independent, remember there is nothing you will have that will make you jingle by yourself. You need people to jingle with. In whatever you do, try to create good relationship with people, because that is when you'll find people to jingle with. Jingle is the joy of life, and the joy of life comes when you have the right company around you. Thank you. Where there is no shame, there is no glory. Now, before you admire someone, before you admire the outcome, what someone does, the level someone has reached in life, there is a heap of shame that is not meeting your eyes. Anytime you are going through shame, anytime you are going through disappointments, you are developing your archive that many may need to learn from in future. Shame is John the Baptist of every glory. When you see someone experiencing glory, if you sit down with them, they will tell you series of shame that they went through in the closet that many do not know. If you think you will get there without shame, forget it. If you think you'll get there without people talking about you, forget it. If you think you will get to the top without people talking about you, without people that you trusted most talking about you, without people plotting to bring you down, without people writing all kinds of things which are lies against you just to shame you and strip you naked and make you look like useless, then forget about it. If you've never experienced shame before, know that you're not doing enough. If you're doing enough, then you must have started experiencing shame by right now. And so if you have not begun to experience them yet, keep working, keep climbing the mountain. You'll experience them along the way. And the moment you begin to experience them, rest assured that you are approaching the glory. There'll be no glory where shame has not visited before. This is a proverb that the African community used to inspire people. Whenever they experience shame, whenever they go through a lot, that those are the building blocks of the glory that they enjoy. If you admire someone, please ask that person what they go through in closet that makes them have the kind of results that you celebrate. Behind every glory, there is a lot that you can't see. And so, as you experience shame, know that glory is on the way. Thank you. A monkey that eats grass instead of banana is a goat. Now, this proverb shows that people will judge you by what they see you doing other than what you claim to be or what you say you are. When actions speak, words listen. Now, let's analyze it from a different angle. Banana is superior to grass. For a monkey to stoop low from eating banana to eat grass, meaning it has diminished itself, it has lowered its value to the point of eating grass on the ground. Sometimes people hold you in high esteem. People regard you to be on top there. But when you do something that is contrary to what is expected of you, when you act in a way that lowers your dignity, people will classify you with that low level. When you are regarded to be of a certain level, then you need to know your value and operate the level where you are. Otherwise, when you stoop low to do things which are contrary to the level where you have been regarded, then people will always associate you with the low level. So that calls for someone to get to know themselves, to operate the level where they are. Because when you stoop low to eat grass while you're supposed to be eating banana, then you'll be considered a goat while you're supposed to be a monkey. People can't see your motives. People only see what their eyes feed them. And that is what they use to judge you. And so people will always see what you do, and they'll pick who you are from what they see you doing. Thank you. Thread follows the path of a needle. Like you saw me sewing this thing, it is where the needle follows that the thread follows. So it is the needle that opens the way for the thread. These are profound African proverbs that talks about being a role model. Give an example of a workplace. If a leader sets a rule that himself breaks regularly, how do you expect the people that are following you to follow the same rule? It becomes difficult. Why? Because the thread follows the path of the needle. It is the exact thing they've seen you doing that they will do. In a family, the first person that children learn from are the parents. And many times people say that follow what I say, not what I do. And many times what you do is the best teacher. Why? Because that is what people are convinced that you believe in. If you want people to follow something, give them an example on how to follow it. Spearhead what you want to experience. That is when people will follow it. But if you show them this direction and you go the other way, they will follow you on the other way and avoid the one that you're showing them. Why? Because the thread follows the needle. And so being a role model comes with responsibility. It comes with showing your action rather than your words only. The thread follows the path of the needle. Thank you. Assuming I want to pick this end of the stick only, I don't want this other one, it will be obvious that I have to pick everything. So if I must pick this end, I must pick this other one automatically. If you pick an end of a stick, you also pick the other. This proverb talks about making choices. If you make a choice, you are also choosing the consequences of that choice automatically. It comes as a package. And so if you are about to make a choice, first of all, analyze the consequences of that choice, because you are about to take a package of everything. And so if you cannot deal with the consequences, please drop that choice, leave it alone, because you may not handle the consequences that comes with it. Remember, the moment you make a choice, you do not have power over the consequences. You have to deal with it automatically. So if you weigh yourself and know that you cannot deal with the consequences, you better not make that choice. But some people make choices thinking that things will be better in future. If person A chose it and had the consequences that you also know will come to you, what makes you think that your consequences will be special? It's a matter of thinking futuristically. It's a matter of looking at the future, not now. Wisdom is the ability to perceive the consequences of every action that you take. And so get to know that as you pick one end of the stick, you also pick the other one automatically. As you make that choice, rest assured that you're also choosing the consequences automatically, and you have to deal with it. Thank you so much. One should punish a child when he comes home with a stolen egg. When he comes with a stolen ox, it will be too late. Many times parents deny when they are told their children have done something. I've seen cases where children were reported with theft cases, drugs and so on. But parents vehemently supported their children and refused and denied that their children cannot do such a thing. What they don't know is that they are nursing the character. One day when they start manifesting the real character, it will be too late for them to start correcting them. Now what people forget is that children have three faces that they show depending on where they are. Number one, children have the face that they show when they are with their peers, when they are playing and the rest. So you find their friends know them differently. Another thing, children have a face that they wear when they're in the presence of their parents. The third one is that children have a face that they wear when they're in the presence of their teachers. And so you can get an information from their friends. You can get an information from their teachers that will be contradicting from what you know them for. When such information reach you, please do your due diligence before you start castigating those people for accusing your child wrongly. Do not allow a child to do something you can't tolerate when they're still small. It's the same thing that they'll go with, and by the time they're mature enough, they will continue with the same thing, and you can't stop what you tolerated before. In other terms, they say that if you don't block a loophole, very soon it will become gate B. So if you don't stop that small habit that you see in a child when they're still young, a time will come they'll overwhelm you and you'll not tell them anything. When you see a behavior in a child that you cannot tolerate, please stop it at that level before it grows to the point that you can control. Thank you. When air is polluted, the dirty man around is always held responsible. It happens a lot. Someone breaks air, and the next thing someone that is looking like is not well dressed or looking dirty is always held responsible. Now this proverb is talking about how people perceive you, how people, will judge you based on how you look, how you present yourself. So they will always associate dirty things with dirty people. That is it. There's a way you dress that you look like a potential criminal, even if you are very innocent. So packaging is very, very important. I'm not trying to say that you be official every time now, but always present yourself well. It sounds small, but it counts big, especially when in a place like Africa. People judge you by what they can see. Like I said before, no one can see your motives. They will judge you based on what they see you doing. They will judge you based on how you conduct yourself. That is why some people would rather hire big cars to go and seal a deal. Why? Because people will judge you by how you present yourself. The fastest and the easiest way to present yourself is how you dress. Do you consider personal hygiene? Because that is what people will look when they want to consider you. Now, I've realized that people only respect you when they realize that you also respect yourself. When they see how you package yourself, they respect you. So the fastest way to earn respect from people is not going around telling them to respect you, but just the way you exercise personal respect, the way you take care of yourself, the way you carry out yourself. That enough will attract respect from you. Otherwise, if you carry out yourself anyhow, you'll always be responsible for dirty things that happen around. Sometimes people will call you names. So the way you carry out yourself will determine the kind of respect that people will give you. So carry out yourself very well, because respect is very, very important. Thank you. Now, this proverb is for the adults only. So if you're not an adult, please pretend you're not hearing anything. The sign of a healthy marriage is a broken bed. Now, the truth is that many problems in marriages begin in the bedroom, whether said or not. On the other hand, many marital problems are also solved in the bedroom. But because this is a sensitive matter, many people suffer in silence and they don't want to talk about it. And this is something that many people use to manipulate their partners, especially among the Christian believers, both male and female. Now, on the male side, the man already knows that this partner is a staunch believer, and because of their beliefs, they're not supposed to go outside marriage. And so they can underperform because she's not expected to go anywhere else. My friend, this is a carnal activity, and so leave the beliefs aside and do what is required of you. If you don't know, ask, so that you don't manipulate your partner because of their beliefs. The female side also use it as a tool of manipulation, where every sin is punishable by sex denial. A mistake happens, then the moods come in that will last for even a month or so, and during that period there is no sexual activity taking place, and the partner is not expected to go out because of their belief in the Christianity. The truth is that even many pastors are going through this, but they can't share outside there. Why? Because of their names. Many women are also using this thing as a tool to get whatever they want. If they want something from you and you can't provide it, they deny you sex to put pressure on you until you get it. And then when you get it, you are rewarded with sex. That is what we call prostitution in marriage. Many people also expect you to only feel like doing it when they are feeling like. So when they don't have the feeling, then they expect you to manage your feeling until they feel like. That is when you come in. I think if people come together to talk about this and see how to solve this, a lot of marriages can be salvaged. But if you check, most problems begin with bedroom issues. If you realize, a lot of problems will die natural death if the bedroom matters are well maintained. Now, if you check very well, no matter how partners fight, if the bedroom activities are healthy, you realize that most fights will not last long. Why? Because subconsciously they are solved during the bedroom team building. So if you want to solve a lot of marital problems, before you deal with other issues, which could be bigger than the bedroom thing, first of all, handle that aspect. You realize that a lot of issues, a lot of problems will be solved in the bedroom. The sign of a healthy marriage is a broken bed. Thank you.